Good morning, everyone. Yesterday was, I don't know, looking at what was happening in uh, into market was surprising. The markets held up as well as it did, and we'll see if that continues today. I mean, overall, it didn't move very much, but uh, to hold up as well as it did in the face of crude oil moving up as it did was surprising. And maybe this is just seasonality, the Fourth of July holiday, the beginning of a month. Um, we'll see how this unfolds after the holiday, but so far things are holding up pretty good. In addition to interest rates moving up as they did, they're down here a little bit this morning. They come up right up to this pivot high there, totally negating this wide range down bar. So interest rates going up, crude oil going up, uh, the dollar even turned around. It's kind of doing not much of anything day to day here, but it's been in an uptrend. And all of those three influences, negative influences that have pushed the markets lower in the past, didn't matter. So there's been a little bit of a disconnect from that recently. And is that bullish? Is the market complacent, delusional? I don't know. I think we'll see after the holiday, as things probably volume lightens up even more. uh, Bizarro world. I don't know. Things change and it's confusing in the moment, but um, eventually things will become clearer. And I'm thinking after the holiday is over, um, we'll see which way things go because the patterns are, looking at most of the markets, they're going sideways. But the S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100, being dragged higher by a few stocks. Um, and we'll see if that continues. And let's take a look at, let's start with the futures today. Let me clean up my art there. We were talking, I think it was last week, the end of last week, about potential for this pattern to form. And so we got that reversal day. Things are down a little bit, but just hanging on that pivot there. So just whipping back and forth here. Again, in an uptrend, but a new high rejection, a retest rejection, clear line in the sand. We'll see if this begins to move down. Looking at the hourly there, you can see all of the mess that's there, and it's holding week to week. The last, well, this is the beginning of a week, but just running in place, doing nothing. So markets, we're gonna have to wait to see if things can break lower, start some little correction. Maybe the correction will be sideways. Um, we're in waiting mode, collecting information. Breath is still terrible. Even the breath yesterday. Um, look here. All day it was negative. It was even lower. This right here, the day-to-day breath, and you can see this intraday. It was below minus 1,000. And with all of that, the markets did nothing and even came off of the low. And probably more so come off of the low because it just didn't continue to go down. Um, just looking at the closes is just chopping back and forth, back and forth. Right. Sentiment is at an extreme, but we always look for breadth and sentiment to be aligned to have some signal of odds of a correction happening. Now, correction can happen without breadth getting up there, but the highest probability of saying, hey, the market's likely to have a correction is when breadth and sentiment are in agreement, and that hasn't been the case for a while. The NQs, same story, just chopping back and forth, back and forth. Um, the semiconductors started to roll over yesterday and then came back. There's SMHs. You can see, the topping tail from Friday. Things start to move lower. They hold support, rally back up again, topping tail versus bottoming tail bar. Confusion, a lot of sideways price action, set alerts up above here, down below there. See what it does. Of course, watch Nvidia, which also came back. It was selling off, and buyers came in and pushed it back up. Overall, closing prices unchanged over the last several days, give or take. Not much going on there. Um, MU rallied off of the rising 50 MA. So we'll see if this is the beginning of some stabilization. Maybe it can move up from there. But, obviously moved down enough into support and this widely followed moving average. So buyers stepped in there. We'll see if that what it does. It's gapping down a little bit. No big deal. Just got a few others here. That came off of coming down to the pivot and the rising 20. So whippy consolidation going on there overall week to week. Not much going on. It's a lot of that is, we looked through, and I think we looked at some of the ETFs yesterday, the sectors, seeing how so many of them are just going sideways. And I pointed out just to keep our expectations aligned with what is, because there's a lot of running in place right now. Oil going up, interest rates going up, dollar going up, market ignoring it, more news coming out later in the week. And here, with so many things lining up with, oh yeah, you're going to get your interest rate cut likely in September. So more certainty coming to that, and more uncertainty coming in to the broader markets. I think I read something. Look at this. It's gapping down. Some of these home builders were downgraded, but with interest rates going up now, and again, just whippy back and forth. But when the interest rates started coming down and these didn't rally, it was a warning sign, because historically, on the last year or so, as interest rates moved down, well, this went up. Lower cost of borrowing, but each time prices corrected a bit, interest rates maybe moved up a little bit. As soon as they moved down, the rally ensued again. And so the last, that big move down in interest rates, and we pointed to the big wide range bar, these didn't rally. And I mentioned this pre-market, that was, hey, is that a heads up to a warning sign? And now we see, this breakdown occurring and another crack in the market's armor. Look at Home Depot. That's been all over the place, but that broke out right back down again. So it's a little treacherous out there, and be nimble. Biotechs, are they going to break out or not? Another rejection. They've been trying. You can see a lot of sideways action here over the course of the last couple of months. They're not breaking down, but they're not breaking out. So have your alert up there. I got my alert on that line. Nothing happening. Regional banks came on strong, and this is a positive for the markets, but overall, just a lot of running in place there. These are gapping down a little bit, not a big deal. Here's the granddaddy of a mess of a chart. The Dow, breakdown, up, new high, breakdown, a lot of mess with overlapping bars, and another tail bars on both sides, running in place again. Keep your expectations in line with what is. This is just a lot of mess going on there. Bitcoin, same story, on support so far, holding. Send alerts down below here. It's day to day. Gold running in place. Silver, just patterns here that do not provide high probability setups. Now, silver, looking at the weekly chart, anytime you have a lower time frame that's erratic like this, go to the higher time frame, see if it makes sense. And we've got a buy set up here, an uptrend, a pullback, stabilization. We just do not have any kind of a signal yet that the coast is clear. All right. Spiders, and we'll get to SPX. Obviously, just the same story here with sideways price action. What does it do in here? Gapping down a little bit. You can see it's on top of that pivot on the daily chart. The hourly, just a trading range. All right, SPX, nothing was touched yesterday. Let's check. Everything is still pretty much the same. And that moves down a little bit as the markets are a little lower. It's on support below the rising 20, not that far away, but I think far enough away not to be hit. I know. And so prices gapping down a little bit. Another morning where prices are about, so far, opening where they are, and the two strikes about an equal distance away. Which one? You think that the markets are going to move lower today, but as always, just wait a little while, see what the markets do with the open, which way they may go. Pick your spot. Right? So these strikes, markets move rapidly in one direction or the other. In the first few minutes, these numbers can change. So keep an eye on that. And overall, unlikely again to hit either one. I don't know what's going to move them today. There's some numbers coming out at, I think, 10 o'clock. Let me just take another look here. Jolt's opening, and the Fed Powell is going to be talking at 9:30. So who knows what'll come out of his mouth? Probably nothing that we haven't heard before. But he's going to be talking at 9:30, so that could make things a little uncertain. Yeah. All right. Just looking around other markets as we do. Transports had a down day. Maybe the beginnings of a little tiny breakout failure. We'll see if this moves down. You got support here. You had this strong move up. This does, again, repetitive but indecision, erratic price action. Things look like they're going to go in one direction and they stop and go in the other. Russell coming back off of the lows here. Overall in the daily chart, nothing. But look at, this pre-market, this turn at 8 o'clock, this potent reversal. Did a chart of the week on wide range bars. You can check that out on the website. But these wide range bars, we call the most powerful signal, an individual candlestick that there is. Of course, you have to put that in the context of the trend, support, and resistance. But these range expansion reversals, that 180 reversal, that's a powerful reversal pattern. And it was on this support, and it clearly tells us that buyers stepped up very aggressively, and it's likely to move up from there. Clearly it shouldn't break below that, so your stop would go below there. And ideally, right, higher time frames would be aligned, but look at how it cut through this resistance area there. So, the daily time frame is still terrible. And so if it can go sideways here a little bit, maybe this continues up today. And the idea of, the bullish seasonality, this might be a sign, speculative stocks, small caps showing some relative strength here this morning might be a sign that the others will join it and move up. Now, there's a lot of, when you have these patterns that are so erratic like this, we have to look at so many different intermarket relationships and patterns and timeframes trying to make sense of it, because overall it doesn't make sense other than to recognize the fact that bars with lots of tails and overlapping bars display uncertainty. So we could always get involved from an intraday trading point of view, but from the these time frames, it just makes no sense to be focused on patterns like this uh, when our job is to find ones at higher probabilities of being predictable. And one I saw was gapping this morning. Now this is bottoming pattern, but it's a retest. I don't know where it is right now. I saw it on the gap list, but something like this that's down already, maybe play some catch up. I got an alert above here. We'll see if it moves up. IEN was another one. I see if it was gapping up. I saw on the gap list. I got an alert. If it takes this out, I want to know. If it doesn't, I don't care. So looking for some things that maybe could play some catch up. I mean, overall, that's not an attractive pattern, but if it could gap above those highs, that would be something of interest. Let's take a look at the euro. I mean, again, we covered this yesterday. No matter where we look, there's just erratic patterns that say, "Hey, take the week off. If you're here during the day, day trading opportunities, and there's a few patterns out there that still look attractive." All yours, Dan.
I heard you say take the week off. I was running out the door. All right, so I'm working on my.
Anyone here, Dan? Because I don't.
You don't? Sound test. I'm talking. Okay. All right, cool. All right. So let's see what we got. Yeah, so Greg just mentioned this day, and this is totally last Wednesday's MT Live trading bottoming patterns. And this fits in the category of, is this a bottoming pattern to turn up, or is it consolidation and a downtrend? Because we got bearish weekly, bearish monthly. So we would be looking for a potent reversal, like a gap reversal. I need more. But that's what jumped out at me on that. All right. See, so yeah, we have a couple nice setups here, regardless of the market. But I didn't give them yesterday. I was waiting for today. And with yesterday's mess, but this is TMOS. That's a beautiful consolidation at the rising 20. It's a closing breakout. So that's on my list. Devon, bottom right, got an upgrade. And I'm sorry, I don't know about the upgrade, but my alarm went off pre-market. And I have Moreau in the oil department. This could be a 30-minute high breakout. Daily, weekly, monthly. Let me set an alarm 2893 for now, my other computer. Yeah, Greg mentioned Lennar got a downgrade. That looks lower, but that would have been a nice one to do an anticipatory short lot at an end of day base, broke down in the last hour. And then DHI, same. It's a monster descending triangle with a breakdown on the way. Look at that big topping pattern. So again, the last Wednesday, the opposite of bottoming pattern. This is a head and shoulders topping pattern with a closing breakdown and a void. So that but it's a big gap down. But looks good. RTX, sure, yeah, continuation, sure. With a void. Microsoft, yeah, that had a 180 yesterday, we mentioned, and that's holding well pre-market. So yeah, for a FANG, that's holding great. Amazon also, a little 180 after breaking out. Yeah, this Greg was talking. I saw Tesla ripping here pre-market. So I think I saw in the news they expect, and they only beat by a little bit. I think they expected, I think I saw 434,000. They delivered 440. The thing's ripping like this. Man, we talked about this beautiful weekly downside shakeout, cup and handle, inverse head and shoulder. And I think I said in the green room yesterday, target 230 to 240. And wow, that's getting close to my target soon. What else? Cyber, this is the ETF for cybersecurity, obviously. That looks great. All time frames. Tesla, unfortunately, we missed. SE, gapping under, well, not under, but a bearish gap. I think it got downgraded or something. Postage got downgraded. Bearish gap. Fiber downgraded. Wow. I remember in the green room saying, I'm no fundamentalist. When this thing hit $300, this is a company you hire people online all over the world for $5. I'm like, how on earth is this company, whatever the market cap was at 300? Is when I said it, it said, I just don't understand this valuation. And wow, that looks horrible. Cars, I don't see any pattern here, Roberto, on this. KRS. Like Chewy, we know about that kitty boy, just causing this to be a play toy. And I was just shaking my head. This thing was up yesterday, I think, pre-market around, well, it's right here. Pre-market at $33 pre-market because Kitty said he bought it over the last few months. Just mind-boggling to me how that induces people to pay such ridiculous gap up prices. RDS, there were only two earnings here pre-market. This was one of them. A bearish gap and a downtrend. And MSM earnings gapping down. That ain't bad. I mean, the only thing I don't like, it's a Climo on the weekly. So, it's down a lot from 94 or $5. But let's see what it does. RDZN. I don't know what the news is, but that's a bullish gap. Lily. This is a grinder bullish. They've been doing really well with the weight loss stuff. I don't know what the news was, but I think it affected NVO also. This is an amazing trend. Look at 20 above 50. That was a buy setup, but the gap's messing it up. Wow, look at Sammy Boy starting early today, Alex. I don't know what that app is. The fact that you do, We'll have to talk about it later. PayPal got an upgrade here, but it's just a garbage pattern. We actually had this on our core long list right on this turn, I think. Possible breakout. Well, not a breakout per se, but bottoming monthly, but it's still a dog. Mara, we sold a put spread yesterday. So it's gapping down a little bit, which is perfect. If we get an inside bar, it could be a 1, 2, 3 for tomorrow. AR, I think, Sam, this was your short watch. I set some alarms. SLBM, a little sell setup after a breakdown. I have an alarm. MXL, nice closing breakout. That would be an ideal 1, 2, 3. I'll put that in another chart. Oh, I just noticed TMUS is gapping down now. This is one of my favorites, but see, aren't you glad we waited? I only take swings into the close when I think the odds of a gap in my favor outweighs the overnight gappers, period. So this one, as opposed to those two housing stocks that look fantastic to take an anticipatory short, I was waiting. So now this thing's gapping down $3. I'm glad we waited. We're actually in Starbucks via long puts. So we're just in management mode. These little Bitcoin ETFs. Now, again, MT Live last Wednesday. This is not a bottoming pattern. It's just a Climo gap over a red bar, major support. And it's just, a trade, a counter trend trade for a bounce. So now that's gapping down. And here's another one I was watching yesterday. But in terms of a new trade, I like the other one. Mid-turn, beautiful monthly here. Let me set an alarm now at 4:40. I don't even know what a mitter is. Oh yeah, I do. I remember I looked yesterday, software tech or something. Sam, MXL alarm. I was hoping it would gap down. And then maybe 30-minute high would have been nice. Pan W, it's far from like 20, but the weekly still has room to go. We just gotta wait for a setup. All right, these two oil stocks I mentioned. Marode, all right, Devon gapped. Yeah, that's what oh no, I was looking at MRO. MPC. No, see, so that's a bottoming pattern. Greg, we actually had this posted in the weekend letter or otherwise, I forget where. And then I canceled it. But yeah, let's keep an eye on it again. Here, I'll get rid of Devon. Put a little MPC there. Alpha Romeo. I got an alarm, tandem. Sam, these are some of yours. Tandem alarm just went off. That's a short watch. Starbucks, new low, alarm went off. Nice. And now we can move stop here, 77.42. Dodge, I like your screen name. Dodge is in the house. Microsoft still holding well. Watch him. Q's and spiders ripping here at the open. Wow. So our Starbucks, nice relative weakness. We have the July 1979 puts, and they're now. Huh, why is our midpoint not bigger? Okay. I thought we would have a bigger open game right now. Oh, Doffel? Sam, I am. That's you. SLVM. Still not ready, but if this were to close like this, it's a beautiful bear 1, 2, 3. The fangs are not moving much. So I wonder what's making the cues rip here. Semis bouncing. Uh, Um, I don't know. Go Daddy looks great. Let's buy yesterday's high. Airbnb up alarm. We have a put spread. You can check a Dodge check put spread also in GoDaddy. What's going on here? Emitter alarm, Greg. Um, Greg, shoot,
Yeah,
just get so effing frustrated with tech problems.
can't hear you, Dan. What'd you say?
I know because I'm bitching to myself. All right, I'm trying to get into Google to get into the spreadsheet. It wants me to log in the, you know, pristine founder. I'm trying to get verification code and it's not lighting up. tap. Ugh. Mexel, Sam, your Mexel looks good, but I want to pull back. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Greg. It's grayed out. It's not letting me. That's why I'm frustrated. It's grayed out.
Hmm.
That's why I sent you a picture. Here, I'm going to hit the one that says use your phone or tablet to get a security code. All right, yeah. So I hit a different button. So if you'll give me that, if you get it. All right, sorry, you all. Just tech problems. I would like that to go sideways more at resistance, but I do like the rising MAs. An Alta up alarm, and that's a potential bottoming pattern, but it's still early. MPC is coming in hard, which I don't like. Flex. All right, flex up alarm. We have long puts, but the stop is 30.62. So it's early alarm. Got to, yeah, it's relative weakness. Yeah, it's a breakdown. Emitter. Greg, I think we should buy this 1, 2, 3 on your emitter.
Okay.
Yeah, I gave GoDaddy. Yeah, so we're in GoDaddy. I'm just behind here. I got tech problems, but yeah, GoDaddy's a go. Wow, look at MPC bottom right. All right, this MTTI. What is it? Mixer. Buy over 448. Oh, Sam, your Maxell, MXL is doing well. Amen. Mm, no rush to get in. And here's your Mixel. Mobley's acting better. Gave us a little scare yesterday. Well, Greg, the problem is on my browser, when I'm trying to open up the sheet, it's telling me that I gotta log in to this thing first. But sure.
I logged into the email account and I'm not getting any code there.
I I copied what I'm looking at. I'm just trying to hobble through this until we have more time. But wow, Mobley looks fantastic now. Yeah, let me look up too. Sorry, I've been busy with alerts here and so forth. Market's on a good move so far. All right, Dill. Yeah, yeah, you can add over the high. I like it. Yeah, this will be a great direct. You know what? We only have a put spread. I think we can buy a half lot over yesterday's high. Let me just set a higher alarm. Ideally, tomorrow would be better, but I'm gonna set an alarm 143.50 for now. Hmm.
Russell getting turned around.
I agree. I just can't log in until I get this. Let's go down. Go down. We bought over this 142.8. That's what triggered already. So I'm just catching up. Starbucks at the low, good. Yeah, a little void for day trade. Daily is obviously a mess. Some Ballard. No, that's not it. My bad. That's a BLBD. All right, I have moved the stop here already. So that's good. Piece of garbage. Morgan Stanley's holding well. We bought this yesterday at 98.75. So we just have a small open gain. Sierra Bravo. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, you can buy it right here. I would like it better if it didn't have these two overlapping bars and it was just fluid, but the pattern suggests it should go through it. TNA. Sam, are you with Rick's already? So you want TNA all day?